Hi, and welcome to another video by Get It Done Home Repairs. Today I want to talk about a problem we ran into with the oven and microwave assembly. Now what happened is this microwave and oven assembly, first the oven failed, and within a period of about a week or so the microwave itself failed too. So we decided it was not logical to go ahead and repair a microwave and the oven itself, because the control board assembly was no good, which, as you know, that's not an inexpensive item. It's pretty expensive. So we elected to replace the oven and microwave assembly because the age, I think it was like 8 years old or 9 years old. It just was logical to go ahead and replace it. The problem we ran into is we went to a big box store to try to get the oven and microwave assembly to replace for this existing opening. As you know, this cabinet, any cabinet that has a microwave and oven in it, it's cut specifically to a width and a height of the unit itself. Now this is exactly cut for this particular GE brand, so we just decided to go ahead and get one. No big deal. We go to a big box store to try to find it, and they tell me that the oven itself and microwave is back ordered. It could be at least a year, possibly more, before we saw it. So I chose to go to a reputable, bigger store that strictly sells appliances, and they actually told me the exact same thing. They said that this unit here was going to be at least a year out before the order could even get processed, and then once the order became time to process it, they don't even know if the order would be filled. So who can go for a year or two without a microwave or an oven? It's just not feasible. So what we elected to do was to go ahead and replace the unit itself, and instead of getting a oven and microwave assembly, I got an oven that was the exact size for the opening itself. And you know what? I'm going to put a couple of pictures of the unit itself when I pulled the unit out to show you what the size of the opening was and how we needed to fill that opening with the new oven and microwave assembly. And here is what it looked like before we did anything in here. No big deal. We were just going to replace the unit itself with a complete replacement, which, as I said, was totally unavailable. Nobody could get it. So what we had to do was we had to get something that would fit into this exact opening without having to replace the entire cabinet, because chances are to replace the cabinet, it's not going to match exactly. So what we elected to do is to pull the unit out, and once we pulled the unit out, we got in there and we then took our measurements of what the opening itself, the width and the height of the unit from the base all the way up to the top. And we had the existing wiring that was already in there to accommodate the new electric replacement. So we pulled the unit totally out. Once we had it out, we were able to disconnect it and measure exactly the size of the opening that we needed to put the new oven and microwave in. As you can see, I was testing it to make sure that it was what was wrong with it, and as it turned out, it just was not feasible to repair the oven and microwave. Next, we measured the width of the unit itself. That's got to go in there. We measured the height of the unit. We also measured the depth of how far in the unit itself has to go. And as I said, we had the wiring in there already, so we didn't need to do anything with the electrical wiring that was in the back. We just needed to connect up our new oven into the existing wiring, and we're good to go. Something else I forgot to mention as well. The replacement unit, even though it was going to be a year to 2 years out, they told me that the cost to replace this unit would be almost $6,000 for the microwave and oven assembly. Now, obviously, you can go ahead and replace the kitchen, but who wants to go and replace a kitchen because you can't get an oven and a microwave? Would I ever put this unit into a kitchen that I was redoing again? I would never put an oven and microwave built into a cabinet itself. You're better off with one stove and oven assembly and having a microwave mounted above it or in a different location. That's just something I learned. This will never happen to me again. If I do anything, it'll be the oven and stove all as one assembly and not have to worry about this particular item again ever running out of stock. Now this item here was a certain width and a certain height, as I said. So what we did is we went out and we found a oven that was the width that we needed. Because of the opening, you can't really get a different width if the opening is already cut that size. So what we did is we got the oven, and once I got the oven, I put the oven in place wired it in because it was already pre-wired. As I don't know if I said this, but the oven itself is electric, just so you know, which doesn't make a difference whether it's electric or gas. It's pretty much the same thing. If you can't get a part, what are you going to do? You got to change it with something that's there. So what we did is we put the new oven into the unit itself here that was already cut out. We then came inside here and we put a shelf in here. We built a shelf out of a 3/4 inch plywood and attached it inside here, leveled it off so that we had something for the microwave itself to sit on top of, and then I can adjust the height up and down as needed so we can get the opening on top to match the opening on the bottom, so it looks like a more custom fit into the unit itself. All right, so what we did after that is we put it in place, put the microwave on the shelf itself, and that's it. This unit is then finished. I will put some pictures in to show you exactly what I'm talking about. But the problem was is that you just, there's nothing you can do. If you can't get the part, you have no choice but to go ahead and do something different. And as I said, I did not want to replace the entire kitchen because I couldn't get a microwave and an oven to fit the existing opening. But that's how I solved the problem. I'd be interested in seeing what your opinion is, if you would have done the same thing or if you would have done something different. Now, as I don't know if I said this, but I needed to get something that would fit into here. I did not want to have something that was like a shiny chrome type finish, which was available in the chrome finish, but everything else in the kitchen is a brushed type nickel, and it doesn't make sense to have an oven and microwave that's a shiny chrome with everything else, the refrigerator and the exhaust fan and the microwave and all, I mean the dishwasher all already this particular finish. All right, but that's it. That's how I solved it. As I said, I'd be curious to see what you would have done and how you would have handled this particular job. All right, I hope I helped somebody out, and if you're running into a problem yourself, it's just another alternative to replace it. And I will point this out too. When I went to this professional store to get the replacement unit for this, who then told me that it was not, now this was not a big box store. You'd expect this from a big box store, but not from somebody who sells strictly appliances. Ovens, microwaves, stoves, dishwashers. That's all they sell is just that. They left me no alternative. They said, well, you're just going to have to settle for whatever you can get and just go that route. But there is an alternative. You don't need to listen to somebody else telling you that there's nothing else you can do when you have to purchase what you really don't want to purchase. I still was able to think about it myself and calculate the size of the shelf, cut the shelf exactly as I needed, put it in here, and it's a perfect fit. And as you can see, it looks like it's always been. It looks like this is a perfect fit for this particular area. And as I said, this will never happen to me again. The next time I replace the kitchen in here or any other house, I will not put a wall unit in. I would absolutely put a regular oven with a stove top and put a microwave someplace else. All right, I hope I was able to help you out and maybe save you a little bit of a headache in the future. All right, as always, thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one.